Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am back with a reading for the collective masculine. I have already pulled some cards and the deck I used today was this Angelarium deck. I really like this deck because it contains cards from the archangels, but it also contains cards for the Tree of Life from the Kabbalah. So today for the masculine reading we only got cards from the Tree of Life, and this seems very relevant to me. There is no question about it that the tree is a very powerful symbol in many different spiritual directions, and personally I've also been feeling really guided to work with the tree spirit over the past years, and it feels like there is a real deepening with that type of work on the masculine side right now. So let me show you the cards that I got. Underneath the deck was a card called Yesod, and this card, it symbolizes the root, and the key word for this card is connection. So if you watch my last reading, I feel like this card is really talking about a lot of what came through there. If you look at this card, it's almost as if there is this new light, this new opening within the feminine, within the root, within our past experiences, within our ancestry line. It feels as if going back to these roots with our light, with our awareness, it feels like keys to us, it feels like keys to me, like when I tune into it, it feels like gifts, opening different types of gifts, and it's almost as if now is the time to open them. Like they have been resting there down in the root system, and we haven't really been aware of them because it wasn't the time. But now it feels like the time. It's like the feminine, this deep feminine energy is starting to call us more and more. So that was underneath the deck. And then the two cards that came out was, first of all, this card called Dot. It came out in reverse. And yeah, the keyword for this is null, or the placement in the Tree of Life for this. What? My brain isn't functioning, sorry. The card is Dot, and what it means is null, and the keyword is emptiness. That's it. When I tune into messages, it's like my normal brain really doesn't function at all, so sorry about that. But this one came out in reverse, and with that we got a card called Netzach. This is the right leg, and the keyword is endurance. I find these two cards very interesting for the masculine, particularly if you look at this Netzach card. You see that he seems to be carrying a burden on his back. It's almost as if he has this vision, this bubble that he's trying to, that is carrying around with him, and it's becoming so heavy that it's pushing him downwards, and it feels like he is about to fall into this sea here. And I feel like this feels like the sea of duality. It's like the waves where we're just taken by the collective consciousness, kind of, and it's almost as if we drown in that sea. We lose ourselves in that sea. And so I feel a little bit of a warning actually coming with this card. And it's interesting that it's talking about the right leg, because symbolically speaking, the right leg often symbolizes, the right leg. It's the masculine leg, and the phrase comes to mind is like, put your right leg forward. But I feel like this is exactly what we're not supposed to do at this time. it's almost as if we have been so used to this old mentality of always trying to do the right thing and to be the number one, you know, to be the winner, to be the number one. But these cards are saying that if we keep holding on to that mental image of being the number one, then we lose out on being in this null state, you know, this state of emptiness and just like openness and receptiveness. And so we bond ourselves to our burden, and this burden is, it feels like it's just going to become denser and denser and denser, because, you know, it feels like it's meant to fall. It's meant to break us down at this point in time so that we learn how to surrender into the new, so that we learn how to let go and find comfort in being the zero, the nobody. Because it's almost like this state of being the nobody is what allows us to return to the womb of the feminine, you know, to return back to this space where this new light is coming through. So I found that quite interesting, especially following up on the last reading I did. What has been up is now coming down. What has been number one is now being broken down into becoming the nobody, but that is the point, you know, that is, it feels like the natural way, the right way. So let's pull some more tarot cards here and see what comes through. Interestingly, over the past days, I have been experiencing a lot of vertigo. So it feels like, you know, the world is just spinning around me. And I know that I tend to get ill when I'm resisting something. And so that's why I felt really kind of drawn to doing the masculine reading today, because I knew that there would be some answers there for me. And I mean, this card is just so telling to me. It's like the vertigo, sometimes it feels like seasickness, you know, it's like everything is just spinning and you're just powerless within that. And so I feel like there are really strong messages and strong guidance coming through right now, trying to get us to surrender to our path and let go of that need to control using our mind, you know, using our mental capacities, just stepping into the cave of the lion is what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's an expression in English. It is in Norwegian, and it just means to like to go towards the thing that you fear so that you see what it really is. Okay, 2 cards coming out. Underneath the deck was the King of Pentacles. That's interesting. Oh, I love it. 2 cards in reverse, the 3 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. I really feel this energy of just, this is such a difficult energy actually to describe with words. Because the King of Pentacles, I think that usually we might associate them, if we would describe this using our mental capacities, you know, using this kind of bubble here, these old templates that we have integrated as a part of our culture, of the Western culture, then we would describe this guy as, you know, someone who's on top of his game, someone who's materially abundant, and, you know, a powerhouse. But I feel like now it's coming through completely different. He is actually coming through as a tree, like really, really rooted into all different states of being. And so it's almost as if he is as comfortable with being in the state of the number 1 as he is with being in the state of 0. And this like flexibility, I feel, is what makes him kind of quantum. You know, he's both the 1 and the 0 at once, at the same time. He doesn't try to be one over the other. He just accepts. He's able to be comfortable within them both. That's what I'm feeling. And so I think that this is coming in for us. I think that we are learning how to find peace within ourselves in regards to stepping into this quantum state. I love it. It feels very nice. It's like we're gonna be much more comfortable in every state. Like, even if we fail in the eyes of others, it's almost as if we're gonna be able to learn how to build the energy to just, you know, it's almost as if it doesn't touch us anymore energetically. It doesn't make us lose our energy anymore. You know, when the swords here go into the heart, it's almost as if it starts draining our blood and we lose our energy. You know, we waste a lot of our resources, a lot of our blood on just thinking thoughts that aren't really true. And so in the reverse, it feels so empowering, because it's like we become immunized to these thoughts. That's what it feels like. They might be there, they might come and knock on our door, but it's like it doesn't make us lose our blood anymore. It doesn't drain our energy anymore. We're just like here observing them, just like, yep, that's a part of life. I'm cool with that. I really love it. It feels very empowering. Okay, oh wow. And then underneath the deck we have the Empress. This is beautiful, combined with that root energy. And then the cards that came out was, let's see, the King of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, and then the Temperance card. This is really beautiful. Wow. Let me see. So this is a part of a much kind of like bigger process than I will probably be able to explain in this video. I've been getting a lot of smaller messages around this, I realize now, before this video, but I haven't really been able to kind of put them all together yet. That's what I feel. But I feel like this is a part of a process that we're going through right now. We are building, it's like we're building our second leg. That's really what I get with the Temperance card here. Because I feel that for many of us, it's almost as if we have just been in that leg that has been in the water. We have been in the right leg, you know. Is it the right leg here? Is it? Yeah, it actually is. We have been in the right leg. And the right leg has been kind of rooted in water. It's been rooted in duality, you know, the sea of duality. And so that means that that's very unstable. You know, we're not our own master when we are only in our right leg, when we are only kind of following the templates of society. But with the King of Pentacles, I feel like we're starting to build our left leg. you know, we're starting to build our tree. To me, I feel like the tree is our left leg. It's part of our left leg, and this leg is what, I mean, it's anchored in the feminine, is what I'm hearing. It's anchored in the feminine. The left tend to be associated with the feminine as well. And so it feels like we are in that process of building that left leg, and this will offer us more, a greater sense of stability. Of course, I feel like this is going to take some time. You know, we're going back to the womb. First, we have to build the root system. And that means that we kind of have to enter into, like I spoke about, you know, past timelines. We have to go into denser times. It's almost like we're traveling back into the layers of the earth to kind of, I'm hearing, take ownership of our root, to kind of claim our root, because if we don't do this work, we won't have a root, and so we will only have this one leg, this right leg, not the left one. And so what I feel is that as we go through this process, that can be quite time consuming. We have to learn patience through this, because this is, you know, our body's changing a lot. You know, our inner system is changing a lot through this process. And our mind, you know, our old bubble, our old vision can't support that. It doesn't know how to support us through that process. And so it's really about opening and creating emptiness, and that's what allows us to, it is what gives us the courage to actually accept this journey, is what I'm getting. But eventually, as we go through this journey, that's when we are going to come out on the other side. And with the King of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, it's like on the other side, we will have built a new right leg. You know, it's like we will have learned a new vision of what it means to be that number one. Because I feel really drawn to the salamander here. And so it's almost as if our old leg will be cut off, the right leg will be cut off, but it will grow back. You know, that's the vibe of the salamander. It grows back its limbs. So it's something really interesting about that. And it's almost as if as we grow back this new vision of what is right for us in our lives, it's going to be a vision that is much more grounded, rooted. First of all, it's like it's much more wise, because it will understand itself. With the root here and the Empress, it will understand its, I'm hearing inheritance, and that means that it will also understand more about the legacy that it's meant to leave behind. And so I feel like what we're building will be much more individualized with the Nine of Pentacles, and also much more able to connect to all of these different layers of consciousness. You know, able to be comfortable with going really slow with the snail here, and able to be comfortable with going really like expansive and wide with the bird. You know, really connecting to all of these different types of consciousness. So it's interesting. I feel that this journey is, it's completely life-changing. And it's also, I feel like it's going to take some time. It's going to stretch out. But ultimately, I feel that in the end, it will be way more stable and comfortable and just abundant. I mean, these are a lot of really powerful cards coming out here, than choosing to kind of hold on to the old burden and get stuck in this wave. So interesting how these cards are coming out. They all match really well. So funny. I love tarot. So I think I'm gonna end it there. I hope the reading was interesting. Take care, guys, and goodbye.